News Point, 45 minutes of news, views, analysis from Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our global village. Today is Wednesday, no, December 3, 2025, and welcome to Deborah Miss presentation. In the headlines, Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf calls for stronger, decisive, and proactive leadership from ECOWAS to bring an end to the ongoing political crisis in Guinea-Bissau. Senior political advisor to President Joseph Boakai underscores the urgency in implementation, investment, and delivering results as World Bank launches its five-year country partnership framework in Liberia. Government of Liberia dismisses recent assertions by Bomi County Senator Edwin Snow criticizing the Unity Party fundraising program, describing the senator's statement as inaccurate and lacking constructive intent. In a way from Liberia, Kenya's parliament accuses British soldiers of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, and environmental destruction while training in the country. These plus the news bulletin voices making the news are all packaged in this presentation. But first is the news bulletin and Stephen Tallow. Good evening, Stephen.
Good evening, Deborah Mays, and good evening, Liberians. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is calling for a stronger, decisive, and proactive leadership from ECOWAS to help bring an end to the ongoing political crisis in Guinea-Bissau. Her statement comes in the wake of a military takeover in the country, during which soldiers arrested the sitting president, further deepening political instability in the West African nation. Speaking on state radio Tuesday, Madame Sirleaf stressed the urgent need for a united and democratic Africa that is capable of building and strengthening its own political institutions without dependence on external intervention. According to her, regional bodies like ECOWAS must act swiftly and firmly to protect democracy, uphold constitutional order, and prevent the spread of military takeovers across the sub-region. She warned that continuous silence or weak response to coups could reverse her own democratic gains in Africa, especially in West Africa, where several nations have recently experienced military takeovers. Madam Soli urged African leaders to place people, democracy, and good governance above politics and personal interest in order to secure lasting peace and development on the continent. The senior political advisor to Joseph Nyamabwaka, that's President Joseph Nyamabwaka, has underscored the urgency in implementation, investment, and delivering results as it relates to World Bank Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030. Speaking on behalf of the Vice President on Wednesday at the launching ceremony of World Bank Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030, that Augustine Kone said the partnership framework gives Liberia appropriate for progress. He further emphasized that job creation must move from being an inspiration for as to a nation emergency priority, adding by calling on the World Bank Group and all development partners to work together to design immediate workable youth centers in order to provide dignified employment. According to Dr. Connor, youth frustration should not become a barrier to the country's collective progress. Instead, transfer it into energy that will build roads, cultivate agriculture, power industries, and drive innovation. Meanwhile, presenting World Bank Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030, the country manager Georgia Walling said the framework 2025 to 2030 single focus is building a foundation for more and better jobs in Liberia. She further explained that jobs are the surest pathway to prosperity. The height of President AARD, and also achieving World Bank Group mission and vision. while it then added by reaffirming the group's commitment to collaboration, consultation, and partnership. The government of Liberia has responded to comments made by Bomi County Senator Edwin Suno, dismissing his assertions about the Unity Party led administration as inaccurate and lacking constructive intent. Addressing Tuesday's regular press briefing at the Ministry of Information, Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs Daniel Sano said Senator Snow's statement amounts to blank criticism and failed to reflect the realities of the government's current development initiatives. Minister Sano argued that Senator Snow's public remarks are inconsistent with his own political behavior, referencing a recent groundbreaking ceremony of the Opposition Congress for Democratic Change, during which Esno donated 10,000 United States dollars. According to Sandu, the senators of financial contribution to an opposition event his recent negative statements about the government. The minister's inconsistencies and sincerity if they wish to contribute meaningfully to national discourse. Senator Snow had earlier criticized the ruling Unity Party's December 6 fundraising program, arguing that such events will not address what he called the bread and butter issues that Liberians are currently facing. Deputy Managing Director of the National Transit Authority, Mervyn Seafors, says the institution will not receive any funding from the Unity Party, nor will it provide buses to transport partisans to the party's December 6 homecoming program. Speaking Tuesday in Monrovia, Seafors stressed that the Unity Party must take its own transportation arrangements through commercial means, including the option of hiring Killer Bean buses or other related private services. He noted that under no circumstances will state-owned buses be assigned to move as a supporter for the event. Sifos said the decision is intended to avoid a public perception that the ruling Unity Party is using government assets for political activities, emphasizing that the NTA must remain professional and neutral. At the same time, Sifos explained that the NTA remains open to rent buses to other political parties, provided such a request as formalized and handled fairly with no discrimination. He maintained that the policy is consistent with the NTA's operational guidelines. Meanwhile, CIFA is calling on the Unity Party partisans to proceed to the party headquarters with their t-shirts for printing and $5 for their party ID cards. It clarified that the December 6th homecoming serves as a fundraising initiative for the party. The Pittsville City Corporation (PCC) has launched a full-scale investigation into a stabbing incident that took place earlier Wednesday in the red light commercial market. The situation involves one of its officers identified as Solomon Bwaka and 8 months pregnant street vendor. According to the PCC spokesperson, Jeremiah Dijen, Officer Walker was enforcing city ordinances that restrict street selling in certain high traffic commercial zones, something he said led to the confrontation between the officer and the pregnant lady. According to Dijen, medical authorities at GFK have confirmed that she is in stable condition and is undergoing proper treatment and monitoring. Meanwhile, family members of the woman, along with several marketeers, are calling for justice, demanding that the PCC takes decisive action against the officer found liable. The family also confirmed that the victim and her unborn child is in stable condition and is responding to treatment. In a related development, authorities at the Pittsville City Corporation have suspended Officer Solomon L. Bwaka of the Pittsville City Police Department pending the outcome of a full investigation. The action comes after an incident involving Officer Bwaka and a pregnant street vendor, which resulted in the woman being rushed to the JFK Memorial Hospital. The victim, 39-year-old Fatou Camara, is said to be in stable condition and responding to treatment. According to PCC, Officer Walker has been turned over to the Liberia National Police for a comprehensive investigation to determine the circumstances surrounding the altercation. The corporation reaffirmed its commitment to maintaining professionalism and accountability within its law enforcement arm and assure the public that appropriate measures will be taken once the investigation is concluded. The Civil Service Agency, in partnership with Afri First Bank, will on Thursday, December 4, launch two new financial products aimed at improving the welfare of Liberian civil servants across the country. The financial packages include a long-term salary loan scheme with repayment periods ranging from 3 to 5 years and a short-term salary loan scheme repayable within 3 months. Speaking on a local radio station in Monrovia on Wednesday, the CSA's director of reform policy, Mboloba Yogba, said the initiative is designed to ease the financial burden of struggling civil servants and enable them to maintain a 3% interest rate payable over 3 years. Additionally, employees may access a 3.3% salary advance multiplied by 3 to be repaid over a 3-month period, also at 3% interest. He described the extended salary loans facility of 36 to 60 months as the most significant component of the arrangement with Afriland First Bank, noting that eligible civil servants can now access long-term loans repayable between 3 and 5 years. Meanwhile, Afriland First Bank Liberia's marketing officer Samuel Beman said the partnership with the CSA seeks to address limited access to finance and young, long-income earners in Liberia. Bemo described the collaboration as a major opportunity to extend essential financial services to hundreds of civil servants nationwide with a flexibility repayment timelines that ease financial pressure. Liberia's head of delegation to the ECOWAS Parliament, Mervyn Snow, has condemned the recent events in Guinea-Bissau, stating that what to call does not amount to a military coup. Speaking before the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja following the electoral observation mission he led to Guinea-Bissau, Snow disclosed that one of the key pressures placed on the Guinea-Bissau military was to allow the announcement of the election report. He revealed that the electoral commissioner was escorted by armed men to announce to the world that the election results and the computer system have been destroyed. And he said and still stressed does not qualify as a military coup. According to the Bome County lawmaker President Omaru Sissoko, Malo was the sole beneficiary of the situation while opposition leaders were arrested by the military. Snow further indicated that although the election commission did not officially release the results, all international observers and monitoring bodies deployed in Guinea-Bissau have copies of the tally sheets. He therefore urged ECOWAS to act swiftly. In a related development, Bon County Representative and Liberian parliamentarian Muammar Briggs Mensah has voiced her dissatisfaction over practices and decisions that continue to marginalize women in politics across the sub-region. Representative for the Popular of District 7 in Bon County has issued a public condemnation of China community development commitments spelled out in its bone mines operations. Representative Fambule said China Union continues to extract and transport iron ore to China while failing to deliver the essential benefits promised to impacted communities. He described the company's conduct as an affront to local citizens and of but the spirit and letters of its banning agreement. According to the lawmaker, communities have endured years of unfulfilled assurances since China Union took over the bone mines concession. He said that the MDA requires the company to provide meaningful employment opportunities for local residents, invest in community development programs, and support key. And away from Liberia, Kenya's parliament has accused the British soldiers of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, and environmental widening in the country. The report included harrowing testimony from communities in Laikipia and Samburu counties near the military training bases. The British soldiers are accused of evading accountability by refusing to cooperate with parliamentary investigation. The UK High Commission in Kenya said it regretted that its submission was not reflected in the report's conclusions and affirmed its readiness to investigate the allegations on our jurisdiction fully once evidence is provided. Bless News.
Many thanks to Stephen Tyler there for the news of bulletins, a regular feature here on Blaze News Point. But just in case you're just tuning in, you're listening to 45 minutes of news, reviews, analysis from Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our world. Stories we follow in this evening. Former President Ellen Johnson's relief calls for stronger, decisive, and proactive leadership from ECOWAS to bring an end to the ongoing political crisis in Guinea-Bissau. Senior political advisor to President Joseph Boakai underscores the urgency in implementation, investment, and delivering results as World Bank launches its 5 years country partnership framework in Liberia. Government of Liberia dismisses recent assertions by Bowman County Senator Edwin Snow criticizing the Unity Party fundraising program, describing the senator's statement as inaccurate and lacking constructive intent. And Kenya's parliament accuses British soldiers of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, and environmental discussion while training in the country. Stay ahead. Voices making the news. We take a break to be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back and thanks for rejoining. Today's first development. Former President Eddie Johnson Sirleaf is calling for strong, decisive, and proactive leadership from ECOWAS to help bring an end to the ongoing political crisis in Guinea-Bissau. Her statement comes in the wake of a military takeover in the country, during which a soldier arrested the sitting president, further deepening political instability in the West African region. Speaking on state radio Tuesday, Madam Sirleaf stressed the urgent need for a united and democratic Africa that is capable of building and strengthening its own political institutions without dependence on standard and extended intervention.
a long way in promoting democracy. And while we have had some setbacks recently, with some of our countries that there have been fractures in the African Union and in ECOWAS, we still have the majority of our countries that are meeting international standards of good governance. We continue to promote decent development. I don't think the Guinea-Bissau example is one that has thrown Africa off course, as neither did the Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, not thrown Africa. So, but what I would like to see the leadership of ECOWAS stand up very quickly and get its act together. But the mediation has required to work with all of them to make sure they see the purpose, the advantage of being unified. In today's world, out there, the environment that we all face, it's time for Africa to be able to pull together, make sure that we preserve our own systems, we subscribe to those things and respond to the needs of our people, given our young population, given the fact that we still have a long way to go to be able to compete competitively in this world. My call is to ensure that all of our leaders in the African Union, leaders in ECOWAS and regional institutions, that they pull together and try and do even more than what they do now, try to ensure this continental unity all once.
You just listened to the voice of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Senior political advisor to President Joseph Boakai has underscored the urgency in implementing investment and delivering results as it relates to World Bank Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030. Speaking on behalf of Vice President on Wednesday at the launching ceremony of World Bank Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030, Dr. Augustine Conan said the partnership framework gives Liberia appropriate for progress. He further emphasized that job creation must move from being an inspiration to a national emergency priority, adding by calling on the World Bank Group and all development partners to work together to design immediate workable youth centers in order to provide dignified employment.
The Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030 gives us a blueprint for progress. But what we need now is urgency in implementation, urgency in investment, and urgency in delivering results that our people can feel. Let us remember in this room that job creation must move from being an aspiration to a national emergency priority. And I call on the World Bank Group and all the development partners. Let us work together to design immediate, workable youth center solutions that provide dignified employment today, not years from now. To the World Bank Group, the IFC, our international partners, and global investors, Liberia extend gratitude and a heartfelt appeal. Stand with us, work with us, help us confront the unemployment crisis that threatens the dreams of an entire generation. Let us not allow the frustration of our youth to become a barrier to our collective progress. Let us transform their frustration into energies that will build roads, cultivate agriculture, power industries, and drive innovation. We must match Liberia's optimism with action, determination with resources, and vision with concrete commitments that create jobs, stimulate growth, and expand opportunities. To officially launch the World Bank Group Liberia Country Partnership Framework 2025 and reaffirm our government's commitment to its full implementation.
Meanwhile, presenting World Bank Country Partnership Framework 2025 to 2030, the country manager Georgia Wallen said the framework 2025 to 2030 single focus is building a foundation for more and better jobs in Liberia. She further explained that jobs are the surest pathway to prosperity, the height of the President AAID, and also achieving World Bank Group mission and vision.
The World Bank Group partnership with Liberia over the next 5 years will have one single focus: building foundations foundations for more and better jobs in Liberia. Everything we do, say, or write over the next 5 years will be motivated by this focus around jobs. Because jobs are the surest pathway to prosperity. Jobs are at the heart of the AAID, and jobs are also at the heart of achieving the World Bank Group mission and vision. Foundational infrastructure, which includes human capital, the regulatory environment, so a governance environment that is fostering of jobs, and then, of course, private investment. So, over the next 5 years, we're going to focus on four core outcome areas: reducing learning poverty, and there will be a heavy focus on foundational learning, including in kindergarten through sixth grade, literacy and numeracy. This is the foundation, but also skills building on various levels. Second is increasing energy access. Energy is an enabler for everything, from healthcare to business. Third is fostering accountable and effective governance. Governance really matters. Fourth is increasing private investment, and that's linking up to areas of Liberia's natural comparative advantage, including agro-industry as well as forestry and sustainable forest economies. I just want to reaffirm our commitment to collaboration, consultation, and partnership.
You just listen to the country manager for the World Bank, Georgia Wallen, and you also hear the senior political advisor to President Joseph Boakai, Augustine Conan. The government of Liberia has responded to comments made by Bowman County Senator Edwin Snow, dismissing his assertions about the Unity Party led administration as inaccurate and lacking constructive intent. Addressing Tuesday's regular press briefing at the Ministry of Information, Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs Daniel Sano said Senator Snow's statement amount to blind criticism and fail to reflect the realities of the government's current development initiatives. That Minister Sano urged and argued that Senator Snow's public remarks are inconsistent with his own political behavior, referencing the recent groundbreaking ceremony of the Opposition Congress for Democratic Change, during which Senator Snow donated 10,000 United States dollars.
But that does not create room for blind criticism and to some extent try to present a distorted picture of what is happening in the country. So one member of the legislature has gone, he's gone on the street. We listened to him in Bome County saying that the construction of a political party office cannot put bread on the people's table. Political parties are the building block of our democracy, except for you, the journalists who are supposed to be independent. But even the constitution guarantee you that right to politically affiliate. So that is how important political parties are in our democracy. That our constitution recognizes the right to political affiliation. Partisans have the right to contribute their money to what they deem fit in support of the cause of the political ideology. So you come because the United Party is organizing a program on December 6th and they are raising funds. You see it now as an opportunity to buy more of that initiative. The political party have looking for phone people table. But this is the same man. When our friends from the CDC were breaking ground for the party headquarters, he was there. He didn't get a cent, but he donated $10,000 to that initiative. $10,000. Think about it. He represented for Bome County. So it's 10,000 now in order to put well on the people's table in Bome County. It's okay, you come to Morocco, you say well, CDC construction. But when all the parties come together and say we want to support our political party, you say it is wrong. They can't put bread on the people's table. We have to say this to expose how dwarf-faced some of these politicians are. One day you're that way, another day you're this way. So it's good that you can take $10,000 and contribute to the construction of another political party. Nobody questions you. Nobody questions you. But one group of people come out to say we want to go to contribute to our party headquarters so that we can avoid being thrown out. Just in case we're not in power tomorrow, or we can avoid being thrown out anytime. We want to build our own party, but they say it wrong. You can't put bread on the people's table. What a contradiction. Go to Bome County, you paint basketball court. That painting basketball court can put bread on the people's table. What job did the CDC create? Today, you come on the radio, you go on Facebook, you're questioning the ability of this government
That's the voice of the Deputy Minister for Press and Public Affairs at the Ministry of Information, Daniel Sano. Deputy Managing Director of the National Transit Authority, Melvin Seafors, says the institution will not receive any funding from the Unity Party, nor will it provide buses to transport partisans to the party's December 6 homecoming program. Speaking Tuesday in Monrovia, Seafors stressed that the Unity Party must take its own transportation arrangements through commercial means, including the option of hiring killer bean buses or other private services. CFA said the decision is intended to avoid public perception that the ruling party is using government assets for political activities, emphasizing that the NTA must remain professional and neutral.
So let me say this to you, right? I made a case to the senior management that NTA will not go at the Unity Party. We're not going to accept money for anybody from Unity Party that will come and rent bus. Let me say this on the radio. I said that because even if the people come and pay times to the price, opposition people will still say NTA people get a bus free. So they get money to rent a bus. Let it go look for Kerosene. And that will be a means of investing in the private sector to at least help the other people make some money on that day. But NTA bus will not be going to that party. Majority of our senior management. So before the decision came, there was some accelerated group that rented two of those buses from I think the Kakata Maki area. And because they are already paid, we don't want to refund, their money to disenfranchise them. They already paid for the service before that particular decision came about. So only those for people that will use that bus, two of those buses. Besides that, any other bus you see around the party airport or maybe you are passing the road and black people, no MTA bus over there. We don't want the next thing people will get, besides them paying for the bus, people will be already excited, jumping in the bus. Then something broken. So we are not sending MTA bus there. They want bus, they want this one, bus, they want bus, no firewall, bus, other people want farm, other means, our people will transport themselves through other means. We'll not use that. We're not giving it to the party. They're going to charge us because they already pay for it. And if we have means of delivering the service, we should deliver the service. This is at this point we say we are not renting buses to any other group that will come. The reason that we accepted that is because initially it didn't come, we didn't know that it was a Unity Party event that they came for. You understand? So it was just a salary group. But later when we calculated that it was on December 6th and we called the person, that's how we post up the so because we are in a driving, right? Whatever I remember the last time we had a program in Kanta, the youth congress, and we paid for our bus ahead of time. When that one bus had the people that it were all on social media that were using the buses to transport participants and whatever. Even though later I think Bus FM reached out to me with a photo of the receipt and whatever that they pay. But if there are some people who still say the party did not, pay for a fabricated receipt, this for this, not giving the party.
At the same time, Seafors explained that the NTA remains open to renting buses to other political parties, provided such requests are formalized and handled with no discrimination. Meanwhile, Seafors is calling on Unity Party partisans to proceed to the party headquarters with their T-shirts for printing in $5 for their party cards.
So basically, it's a homecoming event. So there are a lot of people who will be coming home who have been away for a very long time. Some of those who are in other political parties will be coming to join us. There are some who are in other political parties who will be coming to a PDA with us that day. But the most interesting thing is to see ordinary Liberians supporting their political institution. The party is not printing. Currently, at the party headquarters, we this morning we just make arrangement to have some key press machine there. You carry your T-shirt, they print it for you. That's why we're doing. We are not printing T-shirts for anybody. So the guys are already to the party headquarters between now and Friday. On the day is you will have people that you carry your T-shirt, they print it because the sole intent of this particular program is for fundraising. So we're not going to go and spend huge amount of money to print T-shirt and distribute it when we intend to go and raise funds. So everyone who wants to identify with the institution can take their own T-shirts there to go. So it will be the Congotan, it will be the Broad Street, it will be the Mosurado office. Currently, these are the three venues that we are using. So the Mosurado office is right on the Chifen Freeway. You can go there and then you print your T-shirt too. You can also go to the new day, and the spot where we're going to be building our headquarters. So you can go there, print your T-shirt. Also on Broad Street, we're going to Sunday you go and let me also on that day, if you don't have your ID card on that day, your Unity Party identification card on that day, there will be several machines there doing membership ID card. And I think it will just be for $5, and that particular amount will go towards the building of our headquarters. These are means of which we'll be raising funds. So we'll be doing our membership at Ghana. Before it used to be $10, but at the fundraising program, it's going to be $5. You get paid for either $5 or $850.
You just listened to the Deputy Managing Director at the National Transit Authority, Melvin Cephas. Well, at this point, we turn to Meso Mendy to bring us the passion of live sports.
Watanga FC has strengthened their 4-point lead at the summit of the RFV First Division League table after securing a half-fought 1-0 away victory over Beer Mountain at the Momo Tower Sports Stadium in Rabasport. The Warriors remain unbeaten this season, boasting an impressive record of 8 wins and 2 draws from 11 matches, with 3 games left in the first phase and a full second phase ahead. Watanga FC continue to display its class, character, and collective resolve in their push for another league championship. Guided by CAF Lesson A coach Theophilus Jacob, the youthful and determined squad has shown remarkable consistency and hunger for glory. Their performances so far signal a team ready to write another golden chapter in the club history. Liberia's esteemed strategic formatter Dean stands proud on the sole female coach in a male-dominated county meet. Her confidence in the team readiness and focus shows a promising qualification from the zone. As the first woman to coach a male team in the national county meet, Dean embraces the honor and responsibility, marking the milestone that transcends personal achievement. Her role signifies progress in Liberian football, proving that leadership and passion transcend gender. Dane's journey began with kickball, laying the foundation of teamwork and discipline before transitioning to football, where she refined her skills and leadership. Well, Deborah does dispose.
Men's Mendy in sports are also the regular feature here on Blaze News Point. Let's bring you more developments. The Painesville City Corporation has launched a full-scale investigation into a disturbing incident that took place earlier Wednesday in the Red Light Commercial Market. The situation involves one of its officers identified as Solomon Boakite, an 8 month pregnant street vendor. According to the PCC spokesperson Jeremiah Digent, Officer Boakite was enforcing city ordinance that restricts street selling in certain high traffic commercial zones, something he said led to the confrontation between the officer and the pregnant lady. According to Digent, medical authorities at GFK have confirmed that she is in stable condition and is undergoing proper treatment and monitoring.
Contrary to the widespread rumors that was circulating around that the couple involving an officer of the Pinzo City Police and that of a pregnant woman in Red Light resulted into the death of the pregnant woman, it is not true. The woman is stable currently, ongoing medical attention at the John F. Kennedy Medical Center in Morovia. The Painesville City Corporation, City Police, was enforcing the city ordinances, the ones who that speak about operating in prohibited areas. It was doing the enforcement of the city ordinance that the scuffle occurred. The officer involved has been recalled, and full-fledged investigation is currently taking place. Before the day comes to an end, there will be a report to that effect involving the officer. So the Painesville City Corporation will remain committed to upholding the dignity and human rights of the residents of the city of Painesville. Will do all in our power to protect life and property within the city of Painesville. It was just kind of unfortunate, like I said to you, the information is fake that the woman passed. She is alive. Representatives from the marketeers and that of her sister visited the scene few minutes ago, and they came to inform the market people that the woman is stable an unstable condition and ongoing even the child is also stable and so forth. There was no injuries. She was selling fish to prohibited areas. There are prohibited areas within the commercial hub of Red Light.
Meanwhile, family members of the woman, along with several marketers, are calling for justice, demanding that the PCC takes decisive action against the officer found liable. The family also confirmed that the victim and her unborn child is in stable condition and are responding to treatment.
I said, why is going on? Your sister, she said, it's arrested. The child is okay. She found everything is very like what we hear, say she she's alive and there's some names of blood. Everything that's okay, so everything's okay. All she want to call attention on the GFK. So what I show the public that she's alive and she's doing well and she went on very well.
You just listen to voices of family members and marketers of the affected pregnant woman, and you also listen to Jeremiah Digent, Painesville City Corporation spokesperson. The Civil Service Agency, in partnership with AfriLand First Bank, will on Thursday, December 4th, launch two new financial products aimed at improving the welfare of Liberian civil servants across the country. The financial packages include a long-term salary loan scheme with repayment periods ranging from 3 to 5 years and a short-term salary loan scheme repayable within 3 months. Speaking on local radio station in Monrovia on Wednesday, the CSA Director of Reform and Policy, Mobile Youngboy, said the initiative is designed to ease the financial burden on struggling civil servants and enable them to invest their salaries in business ventures and other income generating opportunities.
We are not only here to punish civil servants, dismiss, fire, and that kind of stuff. We're also here to look after the best interest of civil servants. So we form collaborations with entities, private sector entities, to ensure that we can form products, services that will benefit civil servants. So you may have heard about the LPA. That LPA is HO, probably even predates us, right? But that's something we've worked on. We've automated it, so now civil servants can go and take goods from vendors, with the CSA being the intermediary between the vendors and the bank for payment purposes, right? So we've done that, and in addition to that, we're now working with the banks to find products that civil servants can conveniently benefit from. So the bank approached us about this product they have that they thought civil servants will benefit from. And what is this product? It's the 50% salary advance. They actually have three products, and which the bank will go in more details, right? But because we signed the MOU with them, so we have pretty much good idea of exactly what the product offerings are. So they have this 50% salary advance with a 3% interest. So that means you can actually take 1.5 months salary every month when you're with the bank, or your salary is domiciled with the bank. So when you're paid immediately, you can take half of your salary for the next month, only paying 3% interest on it, right? That's one product. The next one is what they coin as make it quick. So if you have an emergency like house rent, school fee, medical emergencies, you can actually take 33.3% times 3 of your salary and pay over a 3-month period the same 3% interest. And the biggest one that attracted us to this particular arrangement is the extended salary loan facility of 36 to 60 months. So civil servants now will be eligible to take loan from AfriLand Bank that will repay between 36 months to 60 months. That is from 3 years to 5 years. So the flexibility that comes with this facility is what actually lured us into this arrangement. Say, fine, let's see the parameters around the arrangement. Let's see what civil servants have to do, what the CSA has to do, and what the bank has to do as well. So this tripartite arrangement is exactly why we're here, and we're launching this formally to the public tomorrow. And I'm informed by the bank that by the time it's launched, anybody can now access the facility. Once all of the requirements that we all have agreed upon are met, you can go and get your loan and pay from 12 months to 24 months to 36 months to 48 months and up to 60 months.
Meanwhile, Afroland First Bank Liberia's marketing officer Samuel Bimo said the partnership with the CSA seeks to address limited access to finance among low-income earners in Liberia. Bimo described the collaboration as a major opportunity to extend essential financial services to hundreds of civil servants nationwide with flexible payment timelines, that is financial pressure.
The issue of access to finance in Liberia for low income earners has been a serious challenge in Liberia. So that's one issue we as Afriland, from our vision, that we try to address. So we've been working with civil servants and people been taking salary loans, but at a very minimum level. And what are the reasons? People at a lower level could not afford to take loan because their salary couldn't support the loan they needed. So straight to your question, the issue of what I get will depends on my salary. The objective of the program is make sure you have a loan to pay the life, but not constrain you that you will not struggle to pay back the loan. So people will be in different the kind of salary loan that is in the entire market. Somebody making 150, which is the minimum wage, cannot afford to take a loan, right? But with this program, we intend somebody making as low as 150 can take up to $3,000 he can pay over the period of 5 years. So the program will the amount people qualify will depends on your salary range because you can't take what you can afford. So people will be in different brackets. Somebody making 150, as I say, can take up to 3,000. Somebody above 150 might be taking up to 5,000. But the minimum amount somebody can take will be $3,000.
You just listened to Afroland First Bank Liberia's marketing officer Samuel Bimot and also Afroland First no Mobile Youngbird. That's the CSA Director of Reforms and Policy Department. With that development, this is how I like to draw the curtains on today's edition of the program Place News Point. But before we go, here are stories we followed. Former President Ellen Johnson solid calls for stronger, decisive, and proactive leadership from ECOWAS to build an end to bring an end to the ongoing political crisis in Guinea-Bissau. Senior political advisor to President Joseph Boakai underscores the urgency in implementation, investment, and delivering results as World Bank launches its 5 years country partnership framework for Liberia. Government of Liberia dismisses recent assertions by Bowman County Senator Edwin Snow, criticizing the Unity Party fundraising program, describing the senator's statement as inaccurate and lacking constructive intent. In away from Liberia, Kenya's parliament accuses the British soldiers of decades of sexual abuse, killings, human rights violations, and environmental discussion while training in the country. Many thanks to our news director, news editor, correspondents, reporters for helping to make this edition of a Blaze News Point of Sources. Stephen Talu brought you the news bulletin. Menso Mendy sat and brought you the passion of live sports. Clifton Rennie sat coordinated and brought you voices making the news. My name is Deepo Ramis and anchored. Good afternoon, good evening, and thanks for listening and watching.